Hello! So, Blood Money has this mod that locks all the doors in the game. While I've already done a playthrough with Pro difficulty and on Assassin rating with the mod enabled, I was really mostly just stumbling my way through it rather than actually doing anything clever. But it was a good challenge, so I am now revisiting it with actual plans. Also, for added difficulty this time around, I have banned shooting at locks to open them. Anyway, let's get to it, starting with a vintage here. Now, because the first two doors are locked, I can't reasonably catch up to the pink-shirted target, and instead opt to climb over the wall so I can head for the mansion instead. On the left there's a guard who's gonna see me, but that's okay. He'll follow me all the way up to the target's room. As I go up this pipe, he'll take the commoner's route, the stairs. It's totally fine that he follows me, because I can hide in a closet once I get inside. And you can actually see him from the closet. And here, I wait for him to walk away. As soon as I can hear the door open again, I know it's safe to come out. There he goes. And there's the door sound. First locked door here. Wait for the target to come to me. And just fiber wire him. Alright, and then I'll just leave the way I came in. I'm trying to avoid a lot of the doors that I would normally go through, because, you know, them being locked tends to make things a bit more complicated. And on my way out, I don't care if anybody sees me. But, next up, a little trick that's specific to this level. I'm gonna drop a coin for this guard over here. And he's gonna investigate it. And that's because this is the only level in the game where even on Pro difficulty, guards investigate coins rather than just continue with their usual cycle. I get a nice timing over here, which allows me to enter this room with the tour and bait the pink-shirted target into following me. And the doors are still open. Just picking that door open, not exactly feasible. And because the target saw me in a trespassing zone, he's gonna follow me to the end of the earth, or at least behind this corner, and I can just fiber wire him as well. And then we head for the exit. And we can speed that up a bit, because there is nothing of interest to see here. In case it wasn't obvious, I did this in levels, and I'm doing the commentary in post, so don't consider this to be a legit speedrun or anything. More of an efficient solution to a challenge. Sound Assassin. Next up is Curtains Down, and it has a fantastic start of you being locked behind two glass doors, and a whole bunch of people on the other side who would see me the moment I tried to pick any of these locks. So all I can do is wait like 20 seconds until somebody lets me in. Great times. I would say that this is the most difficult level in the challenge. This or Amendment. Both are tricky. Anyway, then I just take the basement entrance on the right here and follow rather typical standards. So, good time to mention that you may notice that there is no statman on screen to show in-game stats in real time. Not the usual statman anyway, but over here you can see a smaller version of statman that's rendering in the game itself. It's not quite as detailed as the typical statman I use, but it works for something like this. Yeah, this level is remarkably difficult for this challenge, because exiting is very, very difficult. Anyway, I make that guy turn so I can get past him and pick this lock. Fortunately, this door is kind of in an indentation, so I can get away with picking it, while even though the guy is basically looking at me. But yeah, as I was saying, this is a very difficult level, which is why I'm doing super lame strats and actually placing a bomb on the chandelier, something I haven't done in probably years. Because killing Delahunt in his private booth is extremely inconvenient when the exit door is locked. The exit door being the glass door that I had to wait for somebody to open for me. I will have to wait for somebody to open it at the exit as well. And because of that, I really don't want to do anything too risky with Delahunt because I cannot escape quickly. Instead, I'll just set up the accident and head to the top floor. Because you may also notice that I haven't done anything to interrupt the rehearsal. Also, hello, this guy. Say hello to me again. There we go. But yeah, I haven't done anything to interrupt the rehearsal as I would normally do in anything remotely speedy. That's because I want the rehearsal to go all the way to its conclusion. I'll let this guy walk in. I'll be following him as soon as the door closes so I can unlock it properly. And then we wait for the show. Because I'm going for the specific accident kill where I shoot the actor at the same time as he gets shot in the play. And normally shooting from these side booths is quite difficult, but well, inconsistent at least, as a lot of people can see you do it. But fortunately, this scaffolding actually prevents NPCs from seeing me. And there we go. Up. Also, I deliberately aimed at the chest, because the gun is really inaccurate at this point of the game, and it doesn't matter where you shoot him, as long as you hit him. And then I just wait for Delahunt to realize that his body is dead, and have him run towards the stage, trip, and detonate. I could be there to see the timing, but I also want to be here so somebody can let me out of the level. Fortunately, we have a video editing magic so you can see what actually happens once Delahunt makes his approach. But yeah, here I'm just using a timing where 12 seconds after he exits that room, I detonate. And that should do the rest. And there you can see what's actually going on inside the main room. Not fast, but it works. Flatline. Now, this is very different from normal runs. I'm still going to the same direction at the start and placing the bomb the same place I usually do, but I'm not gonna detonate it yet. Because instead of going for Smith first, I'm gonna be killing all of the targets and rescuing Smith last, which is very, very counterintuitive for any sort of speedy approach. Because normally you have to wait for Smith to get out before you can finish the level, and that's on a timer. And normally I would grab this guard's outfit, and I would use his body as a door stopper, but this time around, because things are going to take a bit longer than usual, I want his body somewhere out of the way, because other guards are going to be dragging bodies into that office, and they would find his unconscious body there, which would be bad. So instead I'll just drag him over here. Throw a coin over there to make one of the guards move. See, he was smoking right there. I definitely don't want to be seen here, because this rooftop is one of those magic areas where you get witnessed if you stick around or if somebody sees you. Do some sabotage. And get out. Also, a fun fact about these targets, which I only learned while doing this challenge. If you kill them before Smith tells you that they are targets, they count as non-targets. Never made any difference to me, because I never had to kill them in that order. But that is why it's important that all of these kills are accidents. Once again, opening that door from this side, not really a thing, so I have to wait for somebody else to walk through it. I'm also keeping a bit of a distance with the red target, so he doesn't turn around and ask if I've seen the doctor. Still trying to stay close enough that I can follow him through the doors. Because, again, picking them is very inconvenient. Off he goes. And in order to get out, I have to be very careful with these two guards. One of them is in the bathroom right now and coming out. Okay, take a phone call. But I'm gonna drop a coin for him, so he goes immediately back to the bathroom, because that's the next part of his routine. And that gives me an opening to open the door. In the meantime, the green target has just finished lifting weights. It's a perfect timing for me. Unfortunately, opening this door from this side is much more feasible than from the other side. And then I'll just take the... oh, well, one more target right there. I'll take the route through here. Oh, also, the mine I left earlier is for this. I still want to clear the medical wing. Just a bit later than usual, and that is the exact moment. Also, here, it's gonna make a difference that I chose not to shoot open doors, because these are doors that I would normally shoot in any type of playthrough I do, but this time around I decided that, you know what? Stick to the rules and actually get the cell key. Also, I don't know what that guy was doing there. He's just, he's a bit lost. He's not allowed in here. Open this door at this point, because even though the explosion distracted all of the orderlies away, it's still gonna be a possibility that some of them come back before this 70-second cutscene is over. And if they are back, it's gonna be more difficult for me to unlock that door, so I want to do it beforehand. Whereas watching the cutscene is actually pretty safe.
This is the guy. Here, I'm getting you out of here. You'll never let me alive. I know. Identity obtained. Executing rest of assignment.
Splendid 47. It might interest you to know the following. A sudden shift in the delicate power balance of the New York families. 2 low-level contracts just came in. In addition to your primary target, 2 members of the same group currently staying at the facility. Terminating either will result in a $50,000 bonus per head. It's entirely up to you.
Understood. Alright, and at this point, since I've already killed all of the targets, I can't really do anything. Also, you may have noticed that one of the orderlies in fact had come back and was facing the door. So I made the right choice in picking that lock early. But yeah, at this point, not much I can do other than get my suit back and wait for Smith to get into the morgue. And apparently steal a pistol. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick look at how Smith gets transported. The way this actually works is that once you get far enough away from the morgue, a magic orderly starts delivering Smith to an underground tunnel. It only happens once you're far enough away, because you are not supposed to be able to see them, as I will just now demonstrate what it looks like with free cam. Not a lot of animation going on here. But yeah, we can speed this up as well. And now, once Smith and his orderly are all the way up, I'm gonna use a coin to force the orderly to face a particular direction so I can revive Smith without being detected. Also, a fun little thing is that the exit door, which you never actually go through, is also locked, so I gotta be careful not to try to open that door, because that would get me a witness. Also, a little note about that door that I just went through. Because its state changes after the level has started, it unlocks as normal. But yeah, Sound Assassin. Also, speaking of doors that are not locked, this one has one of the 2 doors in the run that are not locked. I believe it's a bug with the mod, but I'm not gonna start fixing the mod myself to lock a couple of doors, sorry. Anyway, the syringe distracts that guard out of the way, so I can run through here and pick this lock. This is the unlocked door. Doesn't really make a difference here anyway. Unlock this one. and shoot the skylight so I can go get the necklace later on. Vinny should be on his way to his office right about now. I'm gonna follow him in there as he opens the door for me. And go for a very simple fiber wire kill. Yoink! On my way out, I'm gonna throw a syringe for the bodyguard outside the door so he doesn't go investigate what happened to Winnie. And instead he's distracted for a long time. Fortunately, at this point there are almost no guards in the building, so it's very easy to take this slightly longer and door-heavy route to the pool area, where I'll just pick up the necklace. Also, there's another glass door here, but fortunately I can get this guard to open it for me. Picking it would be very risky, as he could spot me. Fortunately, it's a trespassing zone anyway, so he's eager to tell me to get lost. And again, just exit the way I came in. I could have gone out through the front door and gotten shot a whole bunch in the process, but I decided to play it safe. Big idea behind all of this route is that I want them to be consistent, and getting shot to death. Not as consistent as I would like. Couple of minutes, easy silent assassin. Alright, murder of crows. First, I'm gonna hold up a coin to distract that guy over there, so that these two skip their conversation and I can get out of here a bit faster. I need the red bird to open the door for me. Also, depending on which direction he takes, I can tell where he's gonna end up. Either he takes a left and he'll go where you'll see, or he takes a right and he ends up in a different alley just around the corner here. I deliberately did not do any fancy things like make the red bird run, because I wanted to keep this route like easy to execute. And I figured that, you know what, I'll avoid any sort of major trickery speedrun strats if possible. And in this instance it was possible. So I'm keeping her busy with coins. The cop doesn't care about coins. Few shots to throw her closer to the dumpster. And then hide the body. And at this point, I know that the red bird is somewhere, but of course check the map to see where the second target is, the sniper. So right here, on the right side of me, is where the red bird would be, in this alley. If he had gone right at the beginning, but since he went left, I know he's gonna end up in this alley instead. And I'll actually grab his disguise. Because that gives me good access to the final targets area. Also, I said I wanted to solve this thing, so let's take a quick pause. I want to do all of the different bars that are in this level, because I feel like in order to solve this, I need to account for all variables. So let's start by looking at the Latin Fever bar. This is honestly very trivial, and I'm only including this for the sake of completion. This door is the only thing that's different from usual, and there are not that many people behind the bar, so it's very trivial to open the door. Take out the target and get out. But yeah, in general, I feel like in this mission it's good to have a plan for every possible option, rather than just assuming that you get the luck that you want. Okay, Rocker's Choice. This is a bit more elaborate. It's important that this guy sees me climb the ledge, because then he runs away and alerts the police. And because I'm climbing as he's running away to alert the police actually investigates me upstairs, but on the other side of the building. And that policeman is then going to open the door for me in a room that would otherwise be way too busy. This door right here. Also, you may have noticed that I sidled along the wall as I came here, as opposed to just running past it like I would normally do. Again, I decided that I'll keep this as trick-free as possible. And yes, I kind of technically already did that sort of thing in Flatline in the medical wing when I jumped off the ledge. Sue me. And that concludes Rocker's choice. And it's just a matter of getting out of the bar with nobody there to see me do any lockpicking. Fairly simple. And now, back here, back to the blues bar. The Blue Oyster bar is actually the most difficult one in this challenge. But I think I have a pretty cool strat for it. I'll enter through the back, because then I can get to the back room and fire some distraction shots. This makes everyone in the bar panic and run outside to tell the nearest officer what's going on, which completely clears the dance floor and allows me to open this door. I'll knock out the chef, because the other door in the room is also locked and I do need to open it, and there's a good chance that he would see me do it. And then from this point on, it is pretty much the usual thing. Distraction shots over there to make these two people exit a bit faster. Also, my diamonds briefcase has been picked up. That is fine. I intend to pick it up from where the police take it. And that's the blues bar dealt with. Also, ghost right there, in case you didn't notice. And then it's just one more target to go, and this is why I have a disguise, because getting in here without the disguise with doors locked, kind of a hassle. Fortunately, I am allowed to enter through the side entrance here, which is kept open by this gentleman. And can I use a coin there to make sure that he doesn't turn around too quickly and spot me picking that other door? Throw this guy over the ledge. Or try to throw this guy over the ledge. Classic murder of crows. And of course it also takes some time before his ragdoll properly kicks in and lets me drag the body. Every time. Final target down, and then it's just a matter of running to the exit and getting the briefcase. I feel confident in unlocking this door right now because I saw the feet of the guard who patrols that area as I was throwing the other guard of the railing. So I figured I can safely open that door without him ambushing me. Yeah, just grab my suit. And grab the briefcase. I will get lost, thank you very much. And there we go. Around 5 minutes. Silent Assassin. Alright, you better watch out. I'm doing the very typical start. Hold up a coin so everybody looks my way. Then go around the corner and shoot up to destroy the jacuzzi. Very simple. Also, elevators are also kind of locked in this challenge. They do have the pick lock prompt, but if you just press the button, as you do with elevators, the door opens on its own, so you don't have to pick it. This one is quite random, because there's a a lot of variety in what's going on up here as you get here, so I kinda have to improvise and just be careful as I approach this door. There's often guards roaming around this area. This guard is supposed to be here, however, because I need a disguise. He walks between the balcony and the room I'm about to enter. If he's not here when I get here, I'll just wait a few seconds and he should show up from one or the other door. Make sure he doesn't turn away as I pick this lock. And then head upstairs for the photo shoot. Again, I'm gonna do something very unusual and go for an intended kill. Intended accident, even. Which is dropping some lights on... What's this guy's name? Lorne. Yeah, I can place an explosive here. So the lights fall on him eventually. And I still gotta get the videotape, which is in a room behind a locked door. I can't really pick this lock because people from the photo shoot would see me, so I'm gonna wait for Lorne to open the door for me. Any second now. Riveting gameplay. Hold up this guy with a coin. So I can take the videotape. And conveniently, the dog actually keeps the door open for me. It can just open the door as well, which is very nice. And here, I wait for Lorne to take a step forward and slap that girl's ass. Because if I detonate the mine sooner, there's a good chance that he just escapes and doesn't get hit by the lights. Because technically, the explosion happens before the lights fall, and if he hears the explosion, he panics and runs somewhere, potentially away from the lights. Like, as much as I like this game, I'll be the first to admit that it has some stupid stuff like that. I check through the keyhole to make sure that nobody is there before I exit, so nobody sees the body that I left in the room. And of course, there was somebody there even though I checked. Very, very lucky. Fortunately, that guy was more interested in telling me to get lost than paying attention to the body, so it all worked out. And for the exit, I'll just take the boat. Going for the helicopter is not really feasible. Too many doors there. Whereas this is completely safe. 3.5 minutes. That's not too bad. Death on the Mississippi. Typical start. I'm just gonna hold up a coin to make sure that all of the guards are distracted. Which allows me to push the first Gator Gang member off the ledge over here. Yep, nobody saw anything. And then for the second one, I'm also doing a very typical thing of throwing a coin at a wall, which makes the lady he's kissing just investigate the coin and makes him go into his cabin. And then I'm gonna shoot him in the ass, which is very important. If I shot him in the head, there's a chance that he makes a sound that somebody hears, which leads to his whereabouts to be investigated. But if I shoot him in the ass, he makes no sound, and the kill is completely safe. Alright, I'll take this exterior route to the top deck, as it has no doors. And the top deck is kind of improvised, which is what I like about this mission. There's the different NPC cycles make it so that this level is never quite the same, and you just have to kind of wing it. But it's easy enough to wing it because there are only 2 non-targets in this entire area, and one of them is never really in the way. This being the only one who actually matters. And as you can see, it's not exactly difficult to deal with. At least if you're not in a huge hurry like I typically am not. There's one more Gator Gang member inside. With this timing, I'm assuming that he's in the bathroom to my left here. And just wait for the safe and what's his name? Skip. Hey, Skip. Also, the safe is locked in this mod, which is quite funny. Finally, the safe is actually semi-safe. Final target. And then we head for the exit. However, I decided that in order to make this challenge a bit more, or to maintain the integrity of the challenge, I decided that I'm not gonna do the typical drop exit that I do, and instead I would sneak through the boat and take the exit the way it was meant to be taken. That coin was to make sure that the guard who was on the deck below doesn't see me climb down, because he doesn't like that and would shoot me otherwise. It's a bit of a longer route, having to actually go all the way downstairs using stairs, but it's not too bad. This is the staff-only area where things are a bit iffy, as at the end there is a locked door, and if anybody sees me here, they will chase me and tell me to get lost. However, you can see the engineer over there at the end of the corridor. He is about to open that door for me. I'm just gonna wait for him to get far enough away before I follow him. There is also a purser who walks back and forth and opens that door every time he does. But it's basically just a matter of whichever do you see first heading in that direction, and then following them out. And there we go. Around 4 minutes. Till death do us part. Very, very classic strategy over here, I would say. I'm gonna head to the leftmost door, and I'm gonna throw a coin at a wall. Fairly high up on the wall, which makes the couple making out next to the door open the door for me and actually investigate what's going on upstairs. Another coin to make sure a guard doesn't see me go in, otherwise he would shoot me. And look at that, that's 3 doors open just like that. And then another coin to make sure he doesn't follow me any deeper into the house. Yoink, puppy. And I believe I go upstairs here. And I go for one of my favorite kills. I consider this as a classic. The chandelier. Chandelier bait. Right now, Buddy is outside firing his gun. Right there. And once he starts heading back to the house, I'm gonna be waiting at the top of the stairs with a detonator. So I'm not allowed to be at the top of the stairs, or rather, I'm not allowed to be at the top floor here. So when he sees me, he's gonna run upstairs to tell me to get lost, and I'm gonna detonate the mine. Just like that. Also, that was a hell of a shot with that shotgun. There we go. Nice blood splatter. So nice that I'm gonna run into a wall here, admiring it. But yeah, the reason why everybody's shooting at me is because there's a invisible trigger line at the top of the stairs that if you cross, you will get shot. Yeah. Nice and simple. Under 2 minutes. House of Cards! Yeah! Surprise, it's still gonna be boring. And the lockdown doesn't make a huge difference here. There are about 2 doors that I have to lockpick that are at all meaningful. First one being the one leading to the exit. That's the first thing. First thing I'm gonna do is open that. I'm waiting for everybody here to be sitting at a slot machine before I do any lockpicking, because if they're standing up, there's a very high chance they see me, but if they're sitting down, we're good to go. And then the second kind of risky door is this one over here, but, you know, same idea applies. And now I have basically completed the mission. Technically, it would be possible for somebody to walk in as I open that door, but rather unlikely. Then I'll do the very typical strat of waiting for, what's his name, Schmutz, to come over here, open the door to the ladies' room, have him walk in, and shoot him. I know most actual speedrunners these days, instead of doing this, shoot him in the other bathroom in the stall. And the reason why his body isn't found then is because they have blood turned off, but I'm not really into that. I think blood is part of the game and I'd like to keep it on. One more door to unlock, and we are effectively done. Target number 2, I believe, arrived just a moment ago. I'm just gonna wait for him to get to the elevator. We can speed this up. There's nothing going on at this point. Very exciting. And as soon as the elevator starts going up, I'm gonna hold up the coin so he's facing me and won't leave the elevator as the elevator reaches the 8th floor. Then I'll make the elevator go back down. And give him a push, which kills him, because technically the elevator is going down, so technically he fell for a really long distance and fall damage did the rest. Then we wait for the final target. At this point, not really anything I can do. Sure, you could boost the limos, make cars arrive and leave a bit faster, and that would save some seconds. I've never really looked into it and all of the details behind it, because really, I don't care. I just place an explosive here as a distraction later on and wait. Because the thing with limo boosting is that, sure, while it's technically faster and allows you to speed the level up a bit, to me it's kind of like blowing at some paint to make it dry faster. Sure, technically you're doing something, but ultimately you're still watching paint dry. I do the limo boost at the actual target. Limo boost meaning that you make the car drive faster so that the next car shows up faster. And in this case, so that the car goes faster to the entrance right there. Drop a mine over there. Then I detonate the mines first at the top of these stairs, and the next one soon after the first one goes off. And with that timing, the target dies before he exits the car properly, and his body falls under the car and is never to be found. That's the one cool thing about this level. Around 6 minutes. I think limo boosting would save, like, I don't know. Surely it's not half a minute. Can't be that much. Don't care, that's a boring level. This one is not a boring level. It's a much better level, in fact. But, fortunately or unfortunately, my rather typical strat here works pretty well, despite all the doors being locked. Distraction shots to give me access to the elevators, and head to the top floor. And in the top floor, I think I'll have to pick like 2 extra doors. Nice moves. I'm gonna throw a coin to have a guard see me and run into the elevator. Very important that I get a disguise in the elevator.
No trespassing, fella. Get out of here.
Because that means I can leave my suit in the elevator. Open this door, then I'm gonna throw a syringe in the corridor on the left, so a different card picks it up and gets distracted. Open this door, and then I'm gonna go into the corner right here and aim at a specific point on the wall using that dot rather than the center of the scope. Because that way I can always hit the target in the leg, which makes him follow me into this room. It's quite convenient that the extra dot on the site lines up so nicely with the dot on the wall. And that's why we wanted to leave the suit in the elevator, because I'm gonna switch outfits here anyway. For a more efficient one. Stand in the middle of the elevator doors, aim at the target, and a second or two after the doors close, take a shot. So you can shoot without getting detected and kill the target through the doors. The cool thing about that is that even though the target is now dead on stage, her body is not going to be found, because as I go back downstairs, the AI, or most of the AI in the Heaven party, is disabled entirely. So anybody who would be able to see that body is just AFK. And into the Hell party we go. I'm checking from the map where Vana is, so I can rendezvous with her. It's not ideal if she's on stage or about to head on stage for her performance, because I can't really go there, as there is a locked door in the way and a lot of people who would see me pick that lock. Fortunately, she's right here, so I can just say hello to him and her. Or her and him in this instance. I'll keep a bit of a distance to her so she doesn't start talking to me the moment I enter the room. And there she goes. Fortunately, no one ever goes in there. Unfortunately, many people walk through that door, so I don't have to open it myself. I'm not gonna do the shootout, as always. So instead I'll just hold up the coin here. Make the target look at me, allows me entrance here without being detected. Do the same thing as I did with the CIA agent. Shoot him in the leg so he comes to me. And strangle him right there. Strangle him because I like the way he dies here. Up. Oh, sadly, I walked a tiny bit too close to this this random party goer, which made him stop and delayed how quickly he opened the door for me. Oh well. And that is all targets taken care of. Just gotta get my suit back and head for the exit. Like I said, this is very close to a typical strat I use in this level. Nice shooting, almost died. Under 5 minutes. Now, amendment is a tricky one, for sure. In order to get a disguise, I'm gonna leave a syringe next to this tree over here, and then get close to this guard so he sees the syringe and goes to investigate. I can't get the typical disguise in the bathroom because the bathroom door is locked, so instead I have to get one all the way back here. Knock him out over here, get a disguise, and then I'm gonna leave a mine behind on the other side of the front yard. Make sure she doesn't see me do anything sketchy. Throw a mine on the bus. Wait for somebody to let me in. And then I'll go here to shoot at the alarmed exhibit, which makes 2 guards run in from deeper in from the house. Opening this door for me is good because I need to open this door and this door, which is very difficult to open from the other side. Practically impossible, in fact. Destroy the evidence. And go upstairs. The tricky thing about this level is that as soon as anything remotely sketchy happens, there's a good chance that the guards inside the main building just freak out and start running all over the place, and I don't want that. So instead I have this weird setup where I go halfway up these stairs, and when I see that these guys are having a conversation, I jump down and I draw a coin so they interrupt their conversation and just start doing something else. Because they are not allowed to see me on the stairs. They are allowed to see me on the scaffolding and inside the building, but not on the... not stairs, ladder, rather. Which is why it's important for me to distract them before I climb all the way up. And this is the area where, if I had done something sketchy, anything remotely sketchy, being seen on camera picking a lock even though the cameras are no longer recording, that could be enough to make people here run around like headless chickens, and that would make doing anything stealthy very, very difficult when all the doors are locked. The VP is over here. I'm gonna have him see me in the restricted area and then bait him to this container. The dog in this mission, sadly, is not as kind to me as the one in You Better Watch Out. Also, I picked up the West Wing key card. Very important. I'll be needing that later on. And then I head back the same way I came in. Also, of note, this is another level where there is an unlocked door. I already went through it once because somebody else opened it for me, and I did it again right there. Somebody else opened it for me, because that door, the double door right there, is not locked. It's a bug with the mod. But hey, it didn't matter here anyway, because people were kind enough to let me in anyway. I'm a bit careful here because there is a guard who patrols this area, and I don't want him to see me picking any locks. And then on to the West Wing. I'm gonna need a disguise. Doesn't matter what disguise. Either a janitor or a secret service or whatever these guys are called. Sometimes there's a guy already outside here. That's fine. Other times I'll have to open the door and just bait somebody into following me. And it is pretty much random what sort of timing you end up getting here. So I'm really just improvising and having anybody follow me. Any one person would be ideal. Trying to have him see the syringe. Don't think that's working. No. Well, now he's close enough, he doesn't actually follow me all the way outside, so I'm just gonna human shield him and pull him out like this. And then I'll head back to where I came from and jump down onto the courtyard. Because I don't want to enter the West Wing through there, because there is at least one locked door in the way. That is not a good time for this challenge. Whereas over here, all I have to do is use the keycard to get in. So I can meet with Mark Barchesi III. And again, I could have done something
You're the famous Mark.
somewhat, some sort of trickery and shoot him right after the cutscene, as I do in some speedy things, but I decided against it for the integrity of the challenge. So instead I'll have the proper shootout on the rooftop. Also, depending on timings, this can happen. Might have to pick a lock or two on the way out, but normally there's enough guards in here that open the doors that it's not really an issue. And of course I'll get to the rooftop the same way I got down from the rooftop, as that is way faster and allows me to ambush Mark Barchesi. There you can see him already. Ooh, nice shooting. That hurt. Good fight. He actually tried it this time. And at this point, I have already unlocked all the doors that make any sort of difference in this area. So it should be completely safe to get back to the entrance. Except that there is still the matter of the front door of the White House being locked. And I can't pick that, and that's where the mine comes in. And the reason why the mine is in the opposite direction to the Marine whose outfit I took is so that nobody investigates that area, because I still need to get my suit back. There's a distraction. Everybody go left. I'll go right. Grab my suit and get out. Quite a long one, and a tricky one. We made it in under 8 minutes. One more to go, technically. There's really nothing out of the ordinary here. I'll do the typical strat where I just deliberately get shot so I get infinite ammo, get 3 headshots to gain health back, shoot Kane in the back so he starts following me, and then go... The way I do this is I look at the tiles on the wall here, and I go 4.5 tiles down, then towards the wall and crouch. And that typically gets me a nice launch as the wheelchair approaches the stairs. Grab his pistol as it's way better than mine. Shoot very poorly at the 2 guards. And at this point, the only people left alive are the reporter and the priest. But you know, this is a lockdown challenge, so I figured that, you know what? I'm gonna pick a lock, even in Requiem. Why not? Not many doors in this level, but you know, there are these crypts with tools inside. So I figured, you know what? I'm gonna go in here and just pick up something, just so I have an excuse to pick a lock. Screwdriver and a hammer. But yeah, that about wraps up the challenge. I hope you enjoyed this. It was quite fun to figure out how to do these missions consistently with this restriction. And I would love to do more stuff like this, but I don't think Blood Money has much going on in terms of modding, sadly. But we'll see. We'll see what I think up. One more to go. And of course the World Assassination Mastery thing is still ongoing. Nice kill, nice kill. I'm such a professional at this. But yeah, hope you like that. Until next time with something different. Bye!